Hello and welcome to another episode of the Drew Roff Show alongside Purdue Soccer head coach Drew Roff. I'm the team's communications director, Charlie Healy. Drew, heading into the second weekend of the Big Ten Tournament, let's first take a look back at last weekend's 1-0 win over Ohio State. What did you like most about the team's performance and able to get that quarterfinal victory?
Yeah, well, I like how we came out. I think that was really important. When you host a playoff game at home, and it's obviously been a long time since we've been able to do that, you want to play with a lot of energy early. You want to kind of feed off that crowd and the environment, and I thought we did that. Created a lot of great chances. We're moving the ball. We're defending with intensity, and just as we hoped for. So that was key, and obviously we're hoping to get the goal. We were hoping to get the goal first half.
Yep.
We're knocking on the door. Some really impressive saves by their goalkeeper and by their back line, keeping the ball to the goal. But really like how we started, and just told the team at half we continue to do this. Eventually something will go in, and it did. But really like how we played. I feel like one of our better performances, top to bottom, and something that we hope to build on.
Yeah, 55th minute goal from Sarah Griffith proved to be the game winner. What does that say about the team's sort of mental ability and physical toughness to continue to try and put shots on goal until finally being able to break through? They didn't give in at all.
Yeah, no, that can be frustrating. As a former player, as a coach now, sometimes you do feel like there's, I think in basketball they say there's a lid on the basket, right? Yep. So sometimes you kind of have that feeling, but at the same time you can't lose sight that those are good problems to have that you're creating. And they said you get a player like Sarah Griffith, a couple good looks, obviously, we know what she can do. So it was a matter of time, and I think she was, withstanding a lot of physical play in that match. But I thought she did a fantastic job of just staying focused and locked in and controlling what she could. And she was determined. She had that look in her eyes. So I figured next good look she had, she was gonna convert. But I love that goal. I love how we were, hit the crossbar. I think a couple of times. We were patient. We kept the ball moving and had numbers in the box. And it's just one of those kind of a great goal by Griff, but it was almost kind of a team goal, if you will. Yeah. There's a lot of players involved. So, but yeah, you just have to keep at it. And fortunately, we got that one, and kept searching for that second one as well. But fortunately, the one was obviously held up, and just a gritty performance by our players, and never got frustrated, just kept at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great setup to that goal, too. So many great chances beforehand, and then sent out Maya Lambert to Teagan Jones to Sarah Griffith for the goal. So great combinations there to get that 1-0 victory. Let's look ahead to Michigan, number 13 Michigan, a top 20 matchup at Rutgers on Thursday in the quarterfinals. What are you looking into for that match, especially as you look back at a 2-1 loss about a month ago here at Folk Field?
Yeah, well, I thought Michigan, when they came in here earlier in the year, they played really well. I was impressed with their the technical ability of their starting 11, and just their ability to be dangerous in a lot of ways in the attack. So I thought they played really well, and I think part of the problem was we didn't have our best day. And anytime you have a really good team having a good day and your team is not at their best, it's tough to find a result, and that's exactly where we felt what we had that day. So definitely have to give them credit for their performance. We're a tough team to play and beat on our home field. But after that game, I said, I hope that's a team that we get to see again in the postseason. It's very possible, very feasible, just because I'd like to see, if we're at our best, how the result will end up. And we get another opportunity, and it's a great challenge, but we feel like, we have another opportunity to, put our best foot forward and really get a better idea of, where we stack up. So looking forward to that opportunity, and two really good teams, and it should be a tremendous game on Thursday.
Last week, we looked back on the Ohio State matchup from the regular season, which was just about 2 weeks before. This one, the Michigan game, was a little over a month ago. How much do you look back at that game, not only for you, for Purdue, but also for Michigan, or do you focus more on the last couple of weeks when they're scouting?
A little bit of both. I think it's definitely something we want to think more about, where we are right now in our recent matches, and same with them, because all teams go through, slight changes and certain things can vary. But I did look back at it just to kind of see where they had success, and I think since then we've had a couple players have changed positions. We've moved a couple players around. I believe after that game was when we went to Wisconsin and had a really important road win that kind of really got us to see what type of team we can be, I think. And after that we kind of got on a bit of a roll. So 7-8 games ago. So there's definitely some things to learn from that, but we feel like we have improved, and my guess is that Michigan has improved as well. So, but definitely a slightly different looking team than what we were then, and I think we've improved. I think we've developed, and that's just something that hopefully shows up Thursday. But certainly something we've watched, but we've grown a lot since then.
Talking about growth, we've talked a lot about how this senior class has been the stabilizing factor of this team, and just their leadership, not only this year, but what they've learned throughout their careers. Well, part of that learning experience was in 2019 when they advanced to the Big Ten quarterfinals again. Little different situation this year as the 2 seed playing a 3 seed in Michigan compared to last year, the 8 seed playing Penn State. But can you learn anything from that 2019 experience? You're going back to the exact same stadium.
Absolutely, same venue, and as you said, a couple years ago we were definitely the underdog. We just upset Wisconsin, and we played a Penn State team that was very good, and we just didn't have our best day on a day we really need to be at our best. We had no alternatives then. The margin for error was much smaller, so different scenario now. But I remember telling those that group after the game, I said, those of you that are returning, remember this feeling, remember what this feels like, great experience, and let's get back here. And that's exactly what they've done. But I think anytime you're trying to be the first team to do something, whether it's win a semifinal or win a final or win a championship, it's always better to get a little bit of a taste of it before you go back. And I think our players, they've been through the routine. They understand that maybe we didn't play our best on a day when we really needed it, and that's that experience, I think, kind of fueled them over the last year or two to just kind of say, hey, we want to get back there, we can get back there, and I think they always believed that, and now here we are. So I think they're just excited for that opportunity to, like I said, just play to the potential and just have some fun with it, and this is a place that we should be comfortable with.
Absolutely. Purdue and Michigan squaring off Thursday in the second of 2 quarterfinals at Rutgers, 4 p.m. kickoff on the Big Ten Network. Just the second time the two teams have faced off as top 25 opponents, the first time the two teams will meet in the Big Ten quarterfinal. Coming up on the show, we have a pair of senior midfielders, Teagan Jones and Grace Walsh. They're both former defenders, moved up to the midfield, two key pieces of this team's success. What have you liked most about the two of them? Most importantly, how they've meshed together and played well together, the pair.
Well, I think in Grace and Teagan, you're not going to find two seniors that are harder working players, humble players that show up every day to get better. Players that, once again, I use this example. I don't know what kind of day they had prior to coming to training, good, bad, indifferent. They always are there to put in the work and always are there to improve. And as a coach, I mean, that's just, it's tremendous. It just sends a message to the whole team that, we all have things going on, but in that hour and a half, 2 hours that we have together, let's really kind of be mindful and let's, capitalize on that opportunity. And those two do that every single day. And it just shows that's how they've been able to improve so much. But you have two players that defend really well, two players that, are very comfortable on the ball. Two players that cover a ton of ground. I mean, the fitness levels are incredible, and two players that really want to win. And they're kind of they're not the ones that are going to be out there at the forefront necessarily, being the most loud or boisterous. But there's a certain toughness that those two have that is really just something that is crucial to our team's success. So, winning tackles, connecting passes, covering ground, communicating with each other. Their performances this week and the rest of the season are absolutely crucial, but I have no doubt that they're going to be up to the task and they're going to get the job done. Absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing them play, and we'll talk to them in a couple minutes here. But Drew, in the meantime, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you Thursday in New Jersey.
Sounds great. Thank you, Charlie.
Yep. Welcome back to the Drew Roff Show. We're joined by senior midfielders Teagan Jones and Grace Walsh. Grace, let's first take a look back at the Ohio State match. What did you like most about the team's overall performance in that victory on Sunday?
I think we were extremely organized, especially defensively and pressing. We knew we wanted to press going into the game, and we worked on that in the practices leading up to the game, and I think we executed really well. Also, when we won the ball in transition, we went forward and we created a lot of attacking opportunities, especially in the first half. And then we were finally able to put one away in the second half, which I think was a nice reward for all that hard work we did defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 55th minute goal, Teagan, you played a big part in it. There were a lot of great plays leading up to that goal, and then you sent that pass into Sarah Griffith for the goal. What do you remember about the lead up to that goal and then that cross into the box?
Yeah, so we had a few opportunities on corners earlier in the game, so that play originated from a corner, and I think we were definitely due for a chance off a corner. So it was kind of a scramble in the box, but we had everyone keeping the ball in there and just putting shots on goal. I mean, we hit the post or the crossbar twice, and then it got kind of looped back out and then back into me, and I just put the final ball in. But there was really like 4 chances prior to that we really could have put that away.
Yeah, a great sequence to set up the goal. But you guys did have, I think, 19 shots in the match. But it was just a continuous effort of attacking until you finally break through. Was that frustrating at all that you weren't able to find that goal earlier, or what was the mentality of the team going into that, trying to continue to press and find that goal? Grace, maybe you'll...
Sure. I think after the first half, there were maybe 3 goal line saves. So we were knocking on the door pretty much the whole game. And I think going into halftime, we knew that we would have more chances. And we just needed a few more chances just to put 1 goal away. So I think the goal just really showed our resilience throughout the whole game, because we were there so many times to scoring. So.
Teagan, I want to ask you about halftime adjustments, because whenever I walk into the team room to deliver stats to the coaches, I'm only there for about 10-15 seconds. You guys are constantly talking, just suggestions back and forth and just trying to figure things out. And it's such a positive atmosphere for me, because I always walk in, I'm like, all right, they have this. I have no problems. And do you see that same way, or what's the thought process with your halftime adjustments before the coaches come in?
Yeah, I think we just like to regroup as a team and just really see where we need to go moving forward. Soccer, we don't get timeouts or stoppages in play to discuss that, so that's our time to figure out what we need to figure out. And we've had quite a few times this year where those halftime talks have really accelerated us into much better second halves. So I think remembering when we're in the halftime talks to keep things positive, there's a whole other half of soccer to play. That's 45 minutes is a ton of time to do a lot with. So we use that time to regroup, create a positive atmosphere, moving forward, and just really set our game plan prior to the coaches coming in.
And it's definitely worked, because Purdue is such a good second half team. So those halftime conversations with or without the coaches certainly paid off in the final 45 minutes of games. Let's take a look back at the Michigan game early in the season, late September. They came to Folk Field and earned a 2-1 win. Grace, what do you remember from that game, and what can you take from that going into Thursday?
Sure. I don't think it was our best performance, but that just leaves a lot more room for improvement. I think we responded to the first goal against us really well. I think we scored a few minutes after that. But I think we just need to be a little bit more organized, just as we were against Ohio State this past week. And I think that will help us beat Michigan and hopefully move on to the finals this week.
Absolutely. And Teagan, you're going to Rutgers for the second time in 3 years for a Big Ten quarterfinal game. You were a sophomore on that team in 2019. You were playing Penn State, and you were the 8th seed, so a little different situation. But can you take anything from that experience that can help you on Thursday?
Yeah, I think for a lot of us older players that have done it before, just knowing what you're getting yourself into and what the expectation and the atmosphere is when you get there. When we won our sophomore year, we had never made the postseason before. So there's a lot of emotions that go along with that. We just had come off a big win against Wisconsin where we upset the 1 seed. So I think it's a little bit different now. We definitely have a calmness to us and we know what we're capable of. And I think a lot of us older girls will be able to help the younger girls as we move forward.
You two are both the primary holding midfield positions in the starting lineup. What's that like for both of you to play together and that synergy between the two of you? Grace, we'll start with you.
Sure. I think Teagan and I have a really good connection both on and off the field, especially our connection off the field I think influences our communication on the field. We're both extremely comfortable with each other and just giving each other information in the game, and we're just not afraid to talk to each other. So I think that connection really helps us during the games.
And Teagan, how about for you? You're someone who's bounced around, played a number of different positions in your Purdue career, but having Grace next to you in that holding midfield position, knowing you can trust her and having that 4-year relationship, how important is that to you?
Yeah, when I first moved back into the midfield, having Grace there was like kind of having a rock. She knows what she's doing. I think me and Grace offer different things to that position. So both of us having the ability to work together and kind of let each other shine in what we're individually good at is what's worked really well for us. But yeah, I've definitely asked Grace a few questions about what to do here and there, but really just creating that relationship of communication is what we need to be successful.
Absolutely, that communication has been so important. Having players that you can trust to rely on in the match is important too. And Grace, I want to close. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about earning All Big Ten third team honors last week for the second consecutive year, just the 8th player to ever earn multiple All Big Ten honors in your career. What did that mean to hear your name being recognized?
It's obviously an incredible honor to be recognized twice. But I think this year it feels a little bit more special just because of the team's overall success. So while it is amazing to be recognized individually, I feel like this year it feels more like a collective award going towards like all the team's hard work and dedication this year.
Yeah, definitely. 5 players were recognized this year. Certainly could have, we all think probably 11, if not 15 or 20 or all 30 could be honored. So great recognition for you, Grace, and for the whole team as well. So look forward to seeing you both in Piscataway, New Jersey on Thursday, 4 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Look forward to having all of Boilermaker Nation tuning in as well if you can't make it to cheer us on in person. Thanks for joining us.